So I just wanted to revisit this same spot that I did the video from last week. Today's Saturday, the 22nd of October 2022. So it's a week after that big flood from last week. And the water last week came up to just here. That big tree just there, it was inside that big tree. So it came up this high. And as you can see, we had a lot of water, a lot of rain last night too. So the creek is still very high, but nowhere near where it was last week. It came up to basically where I'm standing right now. You can see how it's washed away a big part of the bank down there. There's still a lot of water in it because of all the rain we had last night. But yeah, you can already see how far down the creek is. Have to be 10 meters down, probably more, and there's a lot of water in it still. So I'd say to the normal level of the creek, it'd be another maybe 6 or 7 meters. So this is one of the bridges on the walking trail on Diamond Creek here, and you can see there the water's down there. Have to be close to 10 meters, maybe 10 meters below the bridge, and you can see on the railing of the bridge there's a lot of debris caught in the bridge, branches and so on. So that's where the water came up to. It almost went over the bridge. Maybe at one stage it did go over this bridge, but it was very high. In the video that I took last week that you can go back and have a look at, you can see when I flew the drone over the top here that the water was just below the top of the bridge, but that's a good indication. Stop a little bit from that bridge, and there's a depth marker here, and you can see it would have been last week, I think it would have been up around the 2 meter mark, maybe even a little bit higher than that. So you can see it'd be, if I was standing here last week, it would have been well over my head, and I'm standing on the walking track, probably 70 or 80 meters down from that bridge that I just showed you. So there's a lot of water over here. If you have a look at that video from last week on the drone, you'll be able to see all this was flooded. Again, in that video that I took last week, I said that there's a little area over here where the kangaroos normally go just before dusk, and I'm happy to say they've come back. There's a few over there anyway. I know you might find it a little hard to see, but there's one sitting up looking at us now. If you can see those cars over the back there, directly below those cars, or in line with those cars, there's about 5 or 6 kangaroos just bending down, having something to eat. Oh, there's one up having a bit of a scratch. I'll try to zoom in on it for you in the editing. And there's one over there as well. Yeah, but there's 5 or 6 over there. That's good to see that they survived the floods. A couple of rabbits in this little area too. So this is another indication of just how high the water was last week at the flood. You can see this is a bridge between the Range View Estate and when you head down towards Sacred Heart, you can see the branch sticking out of the top of the bridge there. So that's how high the water got up to. There's still a lot of water in the Diamond Creek today because of all the rain we had overnight. See the train going past there, but yeah, you can see, so it got up to just about going over the top of this bridge, almost, so very high up. So now I've walked down to the duck pond, so it's resembling how it normally looks now. You got the little island in the middle there. This is how it looks a lot of the time. It's very full for the duck pond, but this looks okay. If you go back to that drone footage from last week, this entire area was all flooded all the way around here. You could just see the little island sticking out, but yeah, it was flooded all the way around here, right underneath that bridge. So the water was almost up to the road. So yeah, good comparison from last week, 1 week ago. So this is the Gibson Street Bridge. You can see all the build up there, so I reckon there's like got to within, you know, a metre and a bit to the top of that. Very close.